So I spent a great deal of time researching and coming up with some major tips that I'm sharing today on the best financial strategies by income. We're going to look at 3 different income levels. The very first one is the median United States income today of $60,000 a year. Then we'll look at $90,000 and then last to $120,000 a year. Now, I've worked through all of these income levels throughout the last 10 years, so I'll share my own experiences along the way, including some mistakes I made and what I did to turn those mistakes around. Because after all, financial strategies will obviously differ greatly from somebody making $60,000 a year versus someone making $120,000 a year or more. I started my financial journey being massively in debt and having a negative net worth of $100,000. And I fought back and I applied these financial strategies to grow my net worth now to over $1.1 million and growing. So if an average guy like me can do it, so can you. So when I first graduated college, my first job was right around $30,000 a year. Now, equivalent today, that's right around $45,000 a year adjusted for inflation. But unfortunately, I started off like most typical people do. You graduate college, you buy a new car, some of us buy a house right out of college. Are you feeling me? If so, tap the like button. And the problem is that made me house poor and I was barely able to cover my expenses with the money that I was bringing in. And I quickly realized how important each penny mattered to my finances back then. And on top of that, we lived through the 2009 financial crisis. We watched our house value plummet down. And of course, the financial world practically melted down as well. But it was at that point that I started changing how I treated my money, which is what helped me when I did start making $60,000 a year. When you're making up to $60,000 a year, one of the most important things to do financially at this level is you got to pay yourself first. Most important. Now, this is something that I personally failed to do when I was starting off, and it cost me big time over the years. In fact, Warren Buffett once said, "Do not save what is left after you spend. Instead, spend what is left after you save." And this is really important at this level because if you're not paying yourself first, you really miss out on enjoying all of that hard work that is generating you the income. So, very first thing that you should do at this level is work toward building up an emergency fund. Set aside some cash every paycheck that can eventually grow to enough money to cover right around 3 to 6 months of your living expenses. So now if you're super nervous and if you have a type of job that might lay you off without the ability to quickly pivot to another job, consider putting maybe up to 1 year of an emergency fund just to be on the safe side. Stick that money into a high yield savings account. Now you can use things like Ally Bank. I personally use American Express savings account, which actually gives me up to, I think it's right now 4.35% in interest each year, which will continue to pay high interest as long as the interest rates remain high. But keep in mind, this is not about trying to make tons of money, but really protecting ourselves from any disasters and emergencies that might pop up. But the next thing we want to do at this income level is assess your overall spending and your debt. If you have any debt, focus on paying that off first. For example, if you have a credit card and you're in debt to that credit card, first of all, you're not alone. In fact, in 2024, the average credit card debt per individual in the United States is $6,864. The average interest for those credit cards right now is 21.59%. Most important thing is start paying off your credit card debt immediately because this is so much more important than investing because every time you reduce and you eliminate those high interest debts, you get an immediate return, in this case, 21% or more. So go look at your credit card statement right now. See what the APY is, that stands for annual percentage yield, otherwise known as the interest rate. And you'll find that it's not often that investing returns give you 21% or more per year, so get yourself that immediate return by paying off the debt, especially at this income level. Then look at any other high interest debts like student loans, car loans, pay those off next. If you're making $90,000 a year, you obviously have a lot more runway in your income to make a good difference. Considering you've already attacked the strategies we just covered in the $60,000 level, paying yourself first and eliminate the debt, here is where things can really get fun. Pay yourself even more. What we want to do is take advantage of any tax-advantaged investment accounts, and this includes things like your IRAs, 401ks, 403bs, and other similar accounts. For example, let's say you have a job. Look and see if that job offers like a 401k or any type of retirement opportunity with a match. So for example, let's say you invest 3, 5, or 6% of your income. Most jobs will match that amount, which is free money that they're giving you simply for investing into your retirement. Don't leave that money on the table. The next thing you want to do after you do that is max out your Roth IRA. This is another retirement account that you can put up to a certain amount every year that for the future will grow absolutely tax-free. So because you're already putting your already taxed income that you get out of your paycheck into the Roth IRA, all those future gains can be withdrawn without paying taxes in the future. Right now, you can put up to $7,000 per year into a Roth IRA per person. After you invest in the retirement accounts at this level, start seeing how much money you have left over to continue to pay yourself even more. See, our goal here at the $90,000 per year salary is to build up wealth to live with freedom. You got to remember that money equals freedom if you nurture it in the right way. If you don't have a lot left over after your retirement accounts, look at the strategy of maybe cutting down on a bill or having one less cup of Starbucks a day. And I'm not saying to sacrifice your life, still enjoy your life, but this could give you the chance to employ my favorite investment challenge, which is the $5 a day investment challenge. And given enough time and compounding, believe it or not, this $5 a day can really grow into something amazing. I originally started with just $5 a day into the S&P 500. Now I'm up to $15 a day. But when in doubt, you got to remember the key point: freedom. Choices, control. Now, if you're somebody here, I want to first point out, if you're making $120,000 a year as a single person or more, you're actually doing really well. Did you know in 2023, the median income for somebody 25 to 45 years old is $83,783. For 45 to 64-year-olds is $90,748. So if you're making 120 or more, be proud of yourself, but also be humble. Because the biggest financial strategy you can apply at this level is you have to avoid lifestyle inflation. It's actually well known and it's well documented that as our income rises, lifestyle inflations, or sometimes known as lifestyle creep, happens to us. And this could include dining out more than you should, buying new clothes, upgrading your home, upgrading the car, all that kind of stuff. And I'm here to say it's time to reveal my own personal mistake. So this is not the car I had just 2 years ago. I had an Audi A6 and I upgraded to that luxury car as my income increased. It was a stupid idea. So 2 years ago, I literally took this nice car to a Honda dealership. And I got this nice Honda Accord. And you might ask yourself, well, why would you do that? Well, first of all, it's cheaper, it's paid off, and it's likely going to last a long time because, Hondas basically never die. And see, the thing that really surprised me actually was how many features actually come with this car that you actually had to pay extra for when you upgrade to those luxury cars. Like, for example, you get Apple CarPlay included on the base model, lane self-drive assist, heated seats. See, if you can start making a lot of money, but cut back on unnecessary lifestyle inflation, you have a chance to really gain freedom like never before. And I'm not saying, again, don't deprive yourself. What you want to do right now, join me, get out a notepad and a pen. And let's make this real. We're going to go old school with the pen and the paper here. So jot down some of the ideas and things in life that bring you the most satisfaction. And we're going to do 3 to 5 things. And that's what we're going to focus to spend our money on, the things that bring us joy in life. And then what we'll do is we're going to invest the rest. And even if you're still watching this video and let's say you're at the 60,000 level, still do this because, I have faith in you that you're going to continue to grow. And the key point is you want to avoid that lifestyle creep no matter what. Write down those things. And I have a challenge for you. If you're willing to share, drop me those 3 to 5 things that bring you the most value in the comments below. So I'll share mine. I was starting to find joy in the smaller things in life, like hanging out with my family at just like a state park. It's absolutely free, or taking walks. And where I do spend my money is things like Disney World. And of course, that's probably the most expensive thing right now, but I'll consider that our splurge category. That's the thing that brings us joy. So we'll spend money there. But what no longer fits for me is things like expensive cars, expensive clothing. Now, if that's your jam, that's great, but just make sure it's on your notepad. So because you're focused on spending things that really bring value to your everyday life and reducing costs where possible, you're living life to the fullest. And that allows you to potentially invest a lot of money. Some people have invested 50 or more % of their gross income. So picture this, you make $120,000 or $10,000 a month gross income. You invest 50% of that income, that's $5,000 a month into something like the S&P 500. In a short 11 years, you would have over $1 million. See, wealth is quiet. Wealth sometimes often looks poor. But wealth can amass greatly, and it's up to us not to miss out on this opportunity. When you have that freedom, you can basically do whatever you want with your life. And you can check out how to apply something called the 4% rule to live off your money indefinitely by checking out this video next, and we'll see you on the next video.